Okay, looks like we got YouTube back up. Just double check Facebook is working. And it looks like we're back up and running. I've never had that happen before. Looks like something in the internally in the router just went hiccup. Hopefully it doesn't become a common item. I'm going to pin the bracket in here again and get back to commentating. There we go. Every streamer's nightmare. Internet failure. And we come back to it with Ben on the hill. I'm glad we were able to get that back up and running before the end of the match. At least we'll catch the last couple of racks. Unless Bree makes an amazing comeback. He'll have to win this one and the next 4. Ben kicking at the 3. Good contact. Cue balls come out. Watch the side pocket. That's tracking right for the center. Bree's opportunity. But it's clouded with the 4 ball being stuck in that stack there. Does go by the 8. With ball in hand, he has a good opportunity to play fairly precise position. Words are hard. He's got in there on the 4, right where he needs to be. Doesn't want to be stuck to the rail like this, but he should be able to play the 4, use the 9 ball to control the cue ball, and stop right there for the 5. That'll create a little bit more room in the middle of the table to move the cue ball around. He really wanted to hit that full and stop the cue ball dead. He may try and play it soft and just try and kill the cue ball on this rail and hold it in this zone for the 7. But if he can't, he'll have to run it around the table. Distance equals errors. Our A-side final is set with Ross Bradson and Simon Pickering. We've got a few more matches on the B-side to start, though. Keith Hiep leads Masahiro Hashizumi 2-0. Bree playing a nice little safety on the 5. Just letting his opponent make the mistake. But Ben hasn't made many of those this afternoon, at least in this match. Just checking out that 2-rail kick. Ideally, he'd like to come in 2 rails, kick the 5, have the cue ball rest up against the 8, and have the 5 push to this rail. In an ideal world. Oh, he had a little bit of speed on that. I thought he was going to play that a little softer. He had the right line, or almost the right line. Nice little finish. I think the angle is safe on that 7 to just go straight into the side rail and back out for the 1, but he may draw it off it. Nope. One of the dangers of that is if you get the angle that's, if the angle is a little off, you can carry him into the 8, and then you don't know what you're going to get, whether you're going to get an opportunity to make it or you have to play safe again. But the angle worked out perfect. And he just needs to decide which pocket he wants to play that 9 ball in and give this a commitment right into the side. To put another one on the board, there it is. Bree not going away without a fight. Only 2 matches on the board at the moment, I believe. This one and then Keith and Massa. Depending on how it goes, we shouldn't be here too late this evening. I'm estimating we're probably at a 7:30 finish, maybe? All depends on how these matches go and whether they carry long. Bree trying to force that cue ball down table for the 2 has changed the complexion of the table. Ben will come up for his turn with a new solution to ponder. He won't hit this hard. Oh, is he? I guess he's able to thin it, so he's just going to push it down table. Try and get the cue ball back into that cluster. Right in behind the 3. Nice job threading the cue ball through there. Not easy. Ben trying to figure out what looks like to solve the 3-4-5 problem. That's going to be fairly close to the 2 ball. Trying to make the 2 and run into the 5. You may have to change that plan and get it done off the 3. Ended up trying to play safe. He may have left an edge of the 2, but I doubt it. And the 8 ball looks like it might be might be impeding the kick. Breeze having another close look at this. Kicking at the 2. Good hit. And a fortunate result. It will keep Ben off of the offensive side of this equation. May be taking that cue ball off the 2 into the rail, into the 4 and down table. Oh, avoids the 4 entirely. Wants that cue ball to stop. Tough to tell from this angle, but he may have a piece of the 2. Is it enough to avoid the scratch? Maybe. He's going to take a look at it and see if he's got enough room to kick at it off the end rail. Thinning the 2, ties up the 9 even more. It'll be interesting to see what Ben can do with this. Sorry, Gordon, I missed when you posted that tie up the 9, so. It's never a bad idea to Two o'clock here on the Pacific Coast. I guess it's the South Coast as far as Canada's concerned, but more north for most of the rest of the West Coast of North America. Perspective, right? Breeze in a bit of a tough spot here. Your opponent's on the hill. The last thing you want to do is give him ball in hand, even if there is a cluster near the 9, or the 9 is slightly tied up. Trying to go 2 rails, kick that 3 ball, but it's a very small window. Clips the 5 going by. That's going to make this table even more interesting. You're going to have to go mid to bottom of the screen, top of the screen, bottom of the screen, because he's going to break the 6 out right now with the 3. Play the 3 on the side, bring the cue ball into the rail, and then into this 9-6. But that poses a challenge. You might go too far. He may elect to just come into these directly and push them both off the rail. Simon hitting a few balls in the background there. The strangest things make you smile. My daughter just texted me, "Dad, where's the laundry soap?" It's the big orange box on the shelf in the laundry room. I don't know. Kids are awesome. Needs that cue ball to keep running. So difficult to predict how it's going to come out of there, though. Now you can play your safe a couple different ways. And then back down table. My angles are a little wrong there. And just knock the 4 ball over here. Or you could switch it around and do it the other way. Use the cue ball behind the 9-6. And just put the 4 ball by the side pocket. Or is he banking that all the way down? No, he's playing safe. Oh, a little bit of a double kiss there. Bit off too much of the 4 ball. Cue ball double kisses and then goes straight parallel to the rail. He's lucky he didn't scratch. That happens often when you misjudge that and get the double kiss. Bree likely going to play a safe here. Just put that 4 ball back into the center of the table. Get the cue ball all the way down table. And if he's really fortunate, come right in behind the 5. Really cut the angles off for Ben to respond. The guys are being careful now because Ben knows it's this rack that'll win it for him. And Bree knows it could be this rack that kills it for him. Bree getting it safe. But now Ben coming to the table trying to change things. Oh, he did not miss kicking that in by too much. He's going to leave it on the end rail. Bree's getting an opportunity here, but it's not a good quality one. Pushes that 4 into the end rail. It's really tough to get your confidence back when it's been eroded a little bit. Probably one of the hardest things to do in competition is perform to your best under pressure. There's a reason why only so many people rise to a high level of finishes in competition. Oh, Ben going aggressive on the 4-5 combination. Wasn't far off, but it was off just enough to let Bree back to the table. He's got no easy start here himself. He can back cut that 4, so he's got a bit of an extreme angle on the 4, trying to hold the cue ball there for the 5. He'll likely end up over here if he tries to hold it because it's so thin. He might check it. He's just going to try and get back to the same side of the table. Doesn't want to be straight because he's got to get across the table for the 6. No opportunity to do so here. This is just a stop shot. You take your cue ball right from there and you're playing the 6. He may be able to just barely cheat the pocket with the 5 ball and have the cue ball hit the rail and come out here. There may be an opportunity to do that, but it is extremely tight. It looks so straight to me that I doubt that option is there. The rail first option is a thought. You go into the rail and come out, but it's not easy. Very, very difficult to do. And so difficult that he's just elected to play safe, and he's done a great job here. That cue ball needs to track a little bit more. That's an excellent shot. Now Ben's using what they call the mirror technique here. So he's trying to find the exact mirrored spot of where he wants to have the center of the cue ball past the rail. He's a little bit off there, I think, on his measurement, but maybe he could be compensating for shortening up the angle by using speed. He'll go into this with a bit of speed and ended up going a little long. So Bree, with an opportunity to get within 2, needs to run this out. Bree taking his time. He knows how important these shots are, so. He doesn't want to lose because he rushed it. He loses because the other guy shoots good. Well, that's the way it is. He's pretty straight on the 7. That's why he's having a little bit of a dilemma here. He needed some angle to work into the 8. And there's just not a lot there. Well, he had enough angle. Plays a great shot to come around 2 rails for the 8 in the side. He's fairly straight, shouldn't have to do much with the cue ball here. And he'll get his 3rd rack. And there it is. Bree climbing back into this match. We'll just check on a couple of other scores. Just this match and Masahiro Hashizumi versus Keith Yip. Keith leading 4-1. The winner of this takes on Diodi. Why am I not? I'm hoping we get Ross and Simon on the stream table next. That'll be the A-side final. Like I said, the winner of this match faces Diodi Nepomucemo. And then Keith and Massa play the winner of Keith and Massa plays Jay Paypomp. And then we'll be down to 6 people left in the tournament at that point. Bree with a good break, but tough outcome on the 2. Tough to play safe on this one because in a long distance shot like this, you'd like to have the safety where there's a cluster at the other end. You can hide one of the balls. At this point, there's no cluster at that end. And you're likely to leave this 2 ball on the left side of the table, creating an opportunity for your opponent to have a shot. If you don't tuck that cue ball in behind the 3-9-8 area. Tricky. He's left that 2 over that hole. Good opportunity for Ben to close out the match. Although it's at this point of the match where you can sometimes let your nerves get ahead of you. Makes it hard to finish it out. Ball in hand for Bree. Bit of work to be done with that 7 ball now. He does have ball in hand, so he can break it out now, but the problem is if he uses the 3 to break it out, the 4 ball's all the way at the other end of the table. So he's trying to find an angle on this 5 where he can move the 8 and maybe bump the cue ball back into the center of the table to play the 6. Needs that cue ball to stop. There you go. That's going to work out nicely from that position. He's got a good opportunity to get in on that 5. You know, and one of the things you can do if you're having a particularly hard time figuring out the exact breakout, start looking for the safety. Like, accept the fact that you're probably not going to break out this 5. And start looking at the safety. It looks like he's gearing up to play this with a lot of top right-hand siding. Go to the end rail, spin into the 7, and then get back out and clear. Well, the good thing is that he missed. Because the last thing you want to do is miss your ball, make the breakout, and hand your opponent a wide open table with no problem. Yes, your opponent's coming to the table now, but at least you haven't solved all the issues for him. Ryan, I think, is going to try and come after this cluster right now. Going to make the 5. You know what? Let's change the view here. He's going to make the 5 and come off of it into this cluster, try and move this about, and take a longer shot on the 6. Unfortunate to wind his way through there. But I think he's got some angle on the 6 now. He may be able to get in there again. One of the challenges that Ben faces right now is the cue ball so close to the 6. You want to put a powerful stroke on this, but you don't have the room to follow through. So it's going to be a very short, quick, jabby stroke just to get as much energy as he can on the cue ball. That may have disturbed it enough that it doesn't need breaking. Wow, no, it's the other way around. 7 before the 8. So yes, it's still going to need breaking out. And he has left nothing. In the 6 as best you can. Bring that cue ball with spin up in behind the 7. Oh, he's hit this nice. Just needs a little bit more. Well done. Well done, sir. He did not have a large area to leave that cue ball. And he tucked it in there nice and tight to the rail. The 6 ball being in the corner means that Bree's probably going to hit it. Where it goes and how it ends up, it's going to be left a lot up to luck. But at least you've taken that little bit of control out of your opponent's hands. Bree's going to try and make this in the right-hand corner pocket on our screen. But look at this. He's played it a little bit of a two-way. He had to, just to get it in there. I mean, if he makes it, he makes it. And he's going to be somewhat workable around the 7. Ben's going to try kicking at this again. But he's going to want to hit it thin. He doesn't want to hit it full in the face. He wants it thin so the cue ball comes running around back up table. Gives him an option on the 7. Going airborne. Pretty close to that 7. You got to hit this quick. Yeah, tough to get over the 7 from that distance. Very tough. I know he wasn't jumping the whole ball, but still trying to get up and over that in that distance. Pretty tough. Did we lose the stream again? Why can't I find the live stream? There we go. Sorry, my phone went to sleep and it closed the chat for Facebook. Jason Morgan, Simon Pickering, and Ross Bradson in the A-side final. Needs that to slow down. He may be a little tight there. No, he's got room. Thought for a second that Bree had gone a little too far and couldn't see that left side of the 8. He's clawing his way back into this match. He was down 5-1. Just about straight in on that side pocket. Should get him within 1. It's hard not to sit in Ben's shoes right now and just think this should be over already. I just got to put this away, and then you start worrying about not putting it away, and then it snowballs, and not easy. So 5-4. Meanwhile, Keith Yip on the hill. Rack number 10. Bree to level it up and get on the hill. Bree's being very careful, very deliberate through this rack. He's been doing a great job of battling back. He was down 5-1. Oh, the struggle is real. I feel your pain, sir. I feel your pain. Those days when you're just kind of working through the problem and you're working through your own accuracy issues or play issues, trying to keep your confidence high, trying to rebuild your confidence. Playing this one rail. He's got to be fairly straight here. That's the issue. And there it is. Fairly straight. Not what he intended, but that's going to work out okay. He can play the 5-ball. It's almost straight in that corner pocket. Doesn't have to move the cue ball around. Can just shoot the 6, come back out for the 7 to the same side, but opposite end corner pocket. And then you may end up playing the 8-9 combination. It all depends on that angle you get on the 7, as to what you can do with it. Floats down table to decrease the angle on the 6, allows him a little bit more speed control on the 7. Bree is not taking anything for granted right now. He's checking every angle. Just a little bottom right. He's just going to try and draw back to just right of where his bridge hand is now. No, he elected to go across the table. Needs that to bounce to get off the rail. This is interesting. He's a little straight on the 7. He does have some angle. He's not going to be able to draw the ball, so he's got to go forward. So if you draw the pocket line through the center of the bottom of the ball, he is just on the left side of it. So if you draw the line in, oh, that's not going to work. Anyway, whatever your angle in on the 7 is to cut it a little bit to the left, you can usually count on about double that minimum for your angle after you hit the 7 going to the end rail. Eight-9 combination to get on the hill. Could take the carom, but to me the carom's a little thin. And just throw all thoughts of missing out of your mind right now. Don't just, if you think of the word miss, immediately start thinking about that 9-ball going down, hitting that 8 perfect into the 9. Your subconscious will listen to you even if you don't. There it is. Fighting back from 5-1 down to make it hill. Bree Garcia has not raised the white flag, hasn't surrendered, just keeps fighting. Ben has seen a couple of good opportunities get away to finish this set, but still able to still has an opportunity as long as Bree lets him back to the table. Bree's also displayed some good table control. at times to not let Ben get back to the table with a great opportunity. So 9 in the spot, 2 on the tail. In the final rack of this set, Bree Garcia to break. Fist bump going hill. I'm going to take a quick washroom break. In the meantime, we'll check and see what the score is on the other table. Keith Yip on the hill leading Masahiro Hashizumi 5-2. The winner of this match will face Diodi Nepomuceno. And, I got to do it this way, sorry. The winner of Keith and Massa will be facing John Pei Pompey. And then Ross Bradson and Simon Pickering. So we will be down to 6 people in the tournament in just a few minutes, I think. Looks like Keith has won his match. Mike, you're probably correct. I'm hoping. I'd rather see the ice side final, regardless of who's in it, because that's usually the 2 shooters that are playing the best. Bree with a dry break, Ben with a look at the 1, and a wide open table. There's a bit of cue ball movement to happen here. Oh, this is going to come off that rail. Is there going to be enough there? Ben's body language tells me there's enough. He's going to roll through and just try and hold that cue ball inside the 4-6 for the 3. He's done a great job. Little bit of top left. Just check that cue ball on the end rail. Come back out for the 4. Ooh, it's a little slow. He would have liked to have been a little closer to that 4. He's going to play the cue ball 2 rails. Coming in between the 7-8 at the 5. He's right at the 7. He's got a problem. The closer he gets to the 7, the less of that rail he can see, and the harder it is for him to play the rail first. Another factor on this is he has to be careful coming into this rail. The 5's fairly far off the rail, so that makes this even worse. He's got to make sure he avoids this corner pocket and comes out towards the 6, making the 5 in the corner. There is a potential for a scratch in that right-hand corner pocket. Not quite where he wanted to be. Still has an opportunity, though. You can see he's lining it up for that corner pocket. Make it and win. The cue ball is going to come off that side rail and punch out into the middle of the table. And a decent sort of look at the 7 is all he really needs here. Right in the heart. Wants that cue ball to stop. That's an excellent clutch 6 ball in the final game of a 5-5 set. Race to 6. Going to play this with a little bit of bottom right. Come off that 7 into that side rail and back out towards the other end of the table. Gives him a great approach for the 8 in the side. And after leading 5-1, but struggling for 4 games to put Bree away, Ben on this 9 ball for the win. That falls, and Ben Dwan, our last U.S. competitor, is still alive. He will move on to the next match, which is likely, not likely. He will play Diodi Nepomuceno. Keith Yip and John Paypompi have started. And I'm assuming we're going to have Simon Pickering and Ross Bradson on table number 1. Nope, Diodi is walking over there. All right, well, we'll change it up. Let me just type this out here. The race is going to change this rack, or this set. Five and 7. Oh, that's odd. All right. Is what it is. Oh, and I guess I have to make Diodi's name a little smaller so it fits in there. Oh, hey. Taking pictures in front of the camera there. I think they've already decided. Oh, no, it is going to be Ross and Simon. Okay. All right. Let me change that again. Yeah, it seemed a little odd to me that we wouldn't be seeing the A side final. Oops, going the wrong way there. There we go. There we go. Just for you, Mike. That was so random that they just changed it. I kind of thought it would be weird if we didn't see Ross and Simon on the stream table, but glad it's happening. 2:49 p.m. Sunday afternoon. Yeah, Mike, I'm not sure, but Digital Pool kicks it out as an 8-8 race. Yeah. Yep, that's what Digital Pool has, 8-8. I think Digital Pool is a little. They use Fargo, but I think it might be adjusted. I don't know what's going on there. It's not my deal. I'm just here to talk about what I see, what I think I see. Oh, by the tone of the room, they have actually started. I missed the handshake and the leg and that, but ooh. Nope, they haven't started. Okay. I was kind of thinking I didn't see a lag or a handshake or anything, so maybe I missed it, but they are just practicing at the moment. Just testing that replay event. Just making sure it was working. Seems to be. Ross wins the leg. He'll be breaking. Sorry, just testing a few things, making sure everything's running. I'll do a little bit more prep work for the next one so that I make sure the chat is working properly. And then I don't have to monitor it on my phone, or maybe I'll bring another laptop in and I'll monitor it via that. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Rack number 1. Dry break. I believe Simon has a look at the 1. Ross with the 1 on the side. Pressed the wrong button there. So Ross, 1 on the side. 2 balls open, 3, 4. They're all close together. Might be a little difficult to hold that cue ball there for the 3 in the left corner pocket. He's going to try, though. Nope. He's going to push that 9 right over the side pocket. And heck, you might see a 3-ball bank onto the 9. I can't really tell exactly what that looks like there. Maybe not. He might go for it. And he went for it, but he got it a little long and just knocks the 9-ball out of that side pocket. That's all right. Better than leaving it hanging there for your opponent. Especially when your opponent isn't a slouch either. Mr. Simon Pickering, 727 Fargo. Rattles the 3. Cue ball doesn't look like it gets there. Ross doing a little bit of figuring out here. Not enough to make that 3, so what can he do with it? You've got to watch out for the double kiss, because even if you bank this 3 that way, your cue ball ends up being pretty much a timing shot for right there. And he just avoids the double kiss. Not sure if he got all the way there for the safety. Nope, he can see the 2. Can he do anything with it? Well, even if he can't make it, there's always a defensive position to play. Just playing safe, trying to get the 3 ball to the end rail. Cue ball behind the 6. Not far off, but not quite there either. And now I know Ross looked at it earlier. That's 7-9. That 7-9 may become an issue. I think he's going to try and play safe and just cut the 3 ball over here and bring the cue ball back down into that area. Three ball's going to come too far out, and the cue ball is going to give Simon a piece of it. Not sure if it's enough to make it. Looks like it is. Got good angle on this 4. He should be able to get into this area for the 5 without too much of an effort. I don't think Simon's going to try and break that 7-9 out. I think it's almost wired as a combo there. So just 2 rails or 1 rail back and over. This might be a little tricky. He probably has angle to go into this rail and then come over with the cue ball while making the 6 in the side. Oh, but he's going into that 9. I thought he was going to hit the 9. Thin the 7, push the 9 away from it, get that cue ball in behind the 8. That's a great effort. A great effort from there. You can see the 8 ball's in the road. The 7 ball is still tied up. Ross has got a bit of work to do here. Just trying to figure out the best approach to this 7. He's going a 1 rail kick. If you're confident on hitting it and you can just roll into it, doesn't really give you an opportunity to get back at the table the next time. But maybe Simon plays another safe and he's not quite as successful, and then you can be a bit more aggressive. Well, it doesn't get much better than that. I don't know if that was a good shot or not. I didn't have a very good angle. I think it was good. It looked good to me, even though it was close. But the replay isn't quite working right. I'll have to do some more testing on that. I know there's a way to reverse it, but I can't remember how. I'll figure that out. Needs more work, more practice. Keep in mind, I do this for fun, right? Rattles the 2 in the corner. So 2 and 3 both set up. So Simon got the first one. Ross bringing out the short stick. He's got to get up over the 8, past the 5 to, or past the 4 to make the 3. And is he going to get clear to see a shot of that 4 on the side? He is. That's a great shot. A little far. Nice little bump into the 7. Makes it clear of the 9. Ross, a very easygoing fellow off the table, at least in my experience, but he can be one fierce competitor on the table. So bottom right to spin that cue ball around the table. Nice shot. He's still got a little bit of work to do here. Doesn't need to do much with this. He can just roll this in, make the 8. The cue ball will come 2 rails naturally towards the 9. You just don't want to leave it short. Oh, and he's pushed that 8 ball into the top rail. Now Simon's got the side available. Or it could go past the 9, but then his cue ball's going the wrong way. So he'll take this into that right-hand side pocket, bring the cue ball 1 rail and down, back up this side of the 9. For a 2-game advantage. Sorry, whoops. There we go. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, Ross back to the table. Dry break from Simon. Not much to do on this one. Just try and bank it to the other side of the table and get the cue ball in behind that 4. Ross tried to thread the needle with the 1. I like the idea. It was going to be difficult to do. It's a very small space. But I think that was his best option. Pretty sure that 1 doesn't go past the 2 in the side, so he'll have to take it up into that top right corner pocket. A well-struck 1 ball has started this off for Simon. That 2's in the side. He's going to have to play some interesting shape to get on the 3. Oh, he's got room to slide it past the 4, unless he's going to play the combination. But I think there's room. It's a little tough to tell because the computer camera, the camera can't really see the edge when the colors are so close like that. I'm almost a fan of changing the shade of the rail color. Just 1 or 2 shades to make it so you can delineate it on the screen. Went for the combo. Chad Lee, this is the PHV Open 9-ball tournament coming to you from Richmond, BC, Canada. $1,500 added event, 64 players, tiered entry fee. Ross was hoping to get a little bit more fortunate than that. The 3 balls come out right over that top right corner pocket. This is the A-side final. Simon's finding his rhythm here. He's just picking up the speed of that cue ball just a little bit quicker than he was earlier today. In good position for the 5. Transition to the 6. Shouldn't be an issue. But even though it's fairly simple, he's going to go over and just double check exactly where he thinks he needs to be. Because sometimes your perception of that spot can change. When you walk around the table, you're like, oh, from this angle, it looks like I had another half an inch I could have gone. Simon will play into this rail and then that rail for the 7. Wants to go around that 8, take it completely out of the equation. Should be 1 rail up and down, bring that cue ball right up the center of the table. Just a little bit of top spin, maybe a hair of left. Like 11:55 on the clock. I think he's got enough angle that he draws over to this area for the 9. And to take a 3-game lead in the A-side final, Simon drops the 9. Some other matches on the go. The Ben Dwan trading Diodi Nepomucemo 2-0. Jonathan Pay Pompey leads Keith Yip 3-1. And the score, I guess they're not updating their own score on Digital Pool. But we know it's 3-0 for Simon. The winner of those 2 B-side matches will play each other next. Because I think after this, we're down to 1 table at a time, so every match after this will be streamed. See if Simon can get that 3 ball to crush into the left bottom corner pocket. Oh, the 2 ball kicked it out of the way. It looked close. 9 ball. Watch the 9 ball. It's going to float a little wide. Just curled at the end there. Maybe a little roll in the table there. Haven't really noticed that yet today, so something to maybe be aware of. Ends up being dry. See if Ross can see the one. It looks like he can. Maybe just the edge of it, though. Just looked like there was a bit of glare on that table, so just trying to take that out. Yeah, that's a little easier to see. One of the things that I did not anticipate when I decided to try streaming was how much technical and color processing was going to be involved just to make it look halfway decent. Kicking the one in. Was hoping for a little bit better result. That 9 ball hanging over that corner pocket could be an issue here. Simon's got natural shape to right here. Nope, just played that cue ball 3 rails for the 2 on the side. Three down to the corner. Doesn't even disturb the 9. Coming back across inside the 7 for the 5. Nice little bump to be almost perfect. He's going to walk up, take a look, make sure that that stop shot doesn't put him in a difficult position where he's straight in. So he'll draw it back a little bit. Nope, he must have determined that that stop shot was perfect position to go through the 6 or just stop and play the 7 on the side. That's not going to work. Maybe get over his shoulder. There we go. That's about as close as I'm going to get to having the pool player's view. 8-9 combination. Simon. Picking him up, knocking him down. If Ross can get it going, though, he can put a few games together for sure. Rack number 5 in this race to 8. Ross needs to start putting something together. if he gets to the table. Seven down off the break. Simon with a good look at the one. The 2 ball might be a little tricky. That was a good attempt to break that 2 out. Goes for the bank, nails it. Brings the cue ball out to a nice angle for the 3. Pretty much the best you could do from there. One rail back out into the middle for the 4 in the bottom left corner pocket on your screen. Just a little draw off of that. Maybe a little bit concerned he might have got in behind the 8, but works out good. Works out well. Nice little angle. Should be able to float. Well, change that scene. I don't like that. Yeah, should be able to get over here without too much problem. A little straighter than it looked. One thin cut that knocked on the door and waited for somebody to come and open it before it fell, but did fall. So Simon with 5 out of 8. Only needs a few more. Rack number 6. See if that's 7 ball. Nope, that's the 5 ball on that wing. If the 1 ball is first base, that 5 ball would be second base. The 2 would be first base. Nope, I'm all mixed up. Yep, it's official. Trying to do it from looking at it from the back of the rack when all last week I was looking at it from the front of the rack. So looks like he's going to try and long bank it right back where his hand is. Nope, he's thinned it. Get that cue ball all the way to the rail. That'll work. Simon with the jump shot. Trying to get that one ball out of there and down table. Well, he was going for the carom on the 3. Almost. 3 ball miraculously hangs up. I think there's room past the 8 in the side for the 1 ball. No, played the 1-8 combination. Wants that 1 ball to stop, but it's traveled a little too far. Especially in rotation games, controlling your object ball in a combination, it's not easy to do. He can still cut this in, though, and he has. Needs that cue ball to get clear. It's going to roll right up tight behind the 9. Ross can't catch a break here. This is really tough to cue. That cue ball being up against the 9 limits so much of the ball that you want to hit. It even limits the siding that you would like to hit. I mean, if you shoot it towards the left, then you've got an issue with like if you try and shoot it to this rail and out and around, you can't put that right-hand siding on it that you would like. I think he's just going to tie a ball up. He's going to kick in behind the 5 and try and get it on the 6. Well, it's not the worst it could have been, certainly. It does limit some approaches to the 5. You now have to come at it from the right-hand side. Unfortunately, the 4 is there, so it's not going to be too difficult. You notice how Simon put his finger on the rail? He's aiming for that spot. So he's trying to hit right here. Pretty darn close, but it ensures he has a target and not just an rough estimation of the path of the cue ball. He's being deliberately accurate. Cue ball slides in nice and tight to that rail. He doesn't need much of an angle here because he can stay there and have an angle on the 6. You don't get an easier 9 than that. There it is, Simon. Rolling through with a 6-0 lead so far. Keith and John tied at 3. Ben and Diody 3-2. Rack number 7, Simon to break. Oh, just misses the wing ball, just missed the 1 ball. 8 ball kept it over the pocket. Ross has got a good opportunity here. He's a little tricky getting in on the 2, but if he can get in there, That's the hardest part of the puzzle at the moment. He reached into the table there. I thought he was reaching to pick up the cue ball, and I'm like, why? What's he? Oh, he's removing the template. Right, not a bad idea. Hi, Chandra. I think there are only 6 left in the tournament. Ross, Simon, John Paypompe, Keith Yip. Shoot, I just had it up there. Oh, Ben Dwan and Diodi. So those 6 players still left in the tournament. Ross kicking at the 2. Oh, he's made a nice hit, but he's not going to get a rail. He knew it immediately. I think he was trying to hit that a lot thinner. And then the cue ball will have enough speed to get to a rail, but into the cue, the cue into the 2 full, and then the 2 into the 9 fairly full. It just bled off all the speed and power he put into that shot, resulting in a no rail foul and ball in hand for Simon. Simon lining up on that 4, rolls it down the rail. Is it going to go? It does. Sorry, I should have anticipated him standing up like that. Does it have the speed? It does. To get on the hill. He's looking good right now, folks. Looking good right now. If he does finish it off with this rack, Ross is not out. He's still on the B side. He'll wait for the B side winner to get another crack at him. So in what could be the final rack of this set, Simon breaking from the left side of the table as we look at it. Trying to make that 3 ball. And the 6 ball Kicks it again. Oh, and the cue ball just stays out of the side pocket. And gets in the road of that one, I believe. Yes, sir. See if we can get a look over his shoulder again. Oh, this is going to be close. So close that it goes. Is there something closer than close? In. I guess that's it. That's one. It may have used the whole pocket, but it still went down. Oh, and he allowed a lot of speed on that, but he still held it for the 4 using the 8-9. Got a little bit of separation there between those two as well. On goes the extension. So he's going to try and play this 4, but he's got a little bit of angle there. Cue ball's going to have some speed, so he's going to try and use the 8, I believe, to slow it down. Maybe the 9. Oh, he wanted to hit the 8 there. Gone a little long and did not hit the window. He might have a piece of the 5. Gosh, he might actually have enough to make it. He's made contact with the 5 and come out of it with a nice little safety here. Just trying to keep the 5 ball in the middle of the table. Keep either the 8 or the 9 between them. Yeah, this tournament is coming from Q1 Billiards in Richmond, BC. Just answering some chat questions. In the meantime, Simon working his way through this table. Looking to put another W in the win column. There it is. Simon making it through the A side final. He'll put Ross over to the B side. Ross has a bit of a wait. We've got a couple of matches underway. As a matter of fact, we have a bit of a wait. So I'm going to sign off for now. I'll leave the stream going. When we're back up and running, I'll let you know. Stay tuned. Keep an eye out. I'll make a comment. Something like that. In the meantime, I hope you're enjoying the PHV Open 9-ball event. There are the rules there. 9-ball racked on the spot, 2 in the tail, template racks okay. 3-foul rule is in effect. Golden breaks are okay, winner breaks, and the ref will film the shot if there's an issue. Hope you're enjoying it. We'll be back shortly. So we're just waiting for a couple of other tables to finish. As you can see, Keith Yip's on the hill. Ben and Diodi are about just over halfway. So they could be as much as another 45 minutes. And we're not going to have another match for about 45 minutes. So I think I'm going to turn the stream off because both of those matches have to finish before we play again. So I'm going to turn the stream off. I will turn it back on in probably about an hour when these two matches are ready to go. Half hour, well, 45 minutes to an hour maybe. And we'll see how it goes. Watch, it's going to go real quick. I'm like 15 minutes and turning it back on. So thanks for hanging out and sticking with us this evening or this afternoon. And we'll be back shortly. Won't be too long. We will have the B-side semifinal between the winner of these two matches, and then the winner of that match will face Ross Bradson for a chance to go at Simon Pickering in the final of the tournament. So we've got about three rounds to go. All right. Have a good evening, folks. We'll see you back here in just a little bit.